Hi, I'm Jeff. This is Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north. Now, if you have a plant-obsessed dad, like I happen to be at the moment, then you might be wondering what it is that they would like for Father's Day, which is coming up pretty quickly. Of course, if there are no restrictions, no money restrictions, lockdown, whatever restriction it is, of course, us dads are happy with a pair of socks and a mug, just like I get every year. However, if we're talking about absolute perfection, then perhaps some of these ideas that I'm going to show you now might be something that you want to buy for your dad. Let's jump in. And we're in. Okay, first of all, the number one best gift that you can get your gardening, plant-obsessed dad would be, of course, a subscription to my YouTube channel. And if you're pretty tech savvy, then you might want to jump into the link in the description and just share it with them with a text or a WhatsApp, and that'll take them straight to my channel, and then they can decide if they want to subscribe or not. But of course, if they're into plants, I mean, why wouldn't they? So that's number one. If you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button, ding the notification bell, and you won't miss any updates. And number two, so this one's a little off the wall. If you've been in lockdown like we have, I know there's a few restrictions lifting at the moment, but at the moment all hairdressers and barbers are shut. So I would definitely like a haircut, because us gardeners who spend half of the day outside in the hot sun don't really like to have long hair, long flowing locks. So I would like these mellifluous locks of mine to be chopped off. So definitely a pair of dubbers or clippers or whatever it is that would get my hair back to its usual length. That would definitely be something that would be welcome. And for number three, I can't really show you this because I don't want to turn the lights off, but at the moment under here you can just about see it there. That thing there is what we call a smart plug. Now this one is a Technoline smart plug, and I did do a video on that, so I'll try and stick a card up on all about setting up a Technoline smart plug. But there are other makes, of course, on the market. And what this one does is it runs, you can see the cable, this cable here runs from that, runs all the way up to, and I don't want to blind you, but quick look, there you go, quick look at the light. And what it does is it's a grow light, and of course it's brilliant for making my plants and helping my plants to get the right wavelengths of light to help them grow, but also through our long UK winter months it's fantastic for that. Now at the moment I only have one in the warm side of the greenhouse, sorry, the cool side. If we go through to the warm side of the greenhouse, I'm having to make do with one of these shop bought LED lights. You can see it's flickering there, but that's just the camera that does that. It doesn't flicker in real life or it would drive me bonkers. So a grow light on this side. They are expensive. I didn't say all these gifts would be cheap, but if money is not much of an object to you, then first of all, are you lucky? But secondly, that will be something that I'll be very, very pleased to receive as a gift for Father's Day. And for number four, we're over on the warm side of the greenhouse. So I just want to point this little gadget out here. So this is, I don't know who makes it, Technoline, that's it. Technoline Mobile Alert Temperature Monitor. And this goes along with another little gadget that attaches to my Wi-Fi router, and what it does is it monitors the sensor, the temperature in this side of the greenhouse, and it tells me when it gets above or below a certain range. So at the moment I have it set for 28 degrees Celsius, and when it goes above 28 degrees Celsius, what happens is I have a little app on my phone and I get an alert to tell me, Jeff, you better get off your backside and get into that greenhouse and get it ventilated to get the temperature down. Now at the moment I have one of these over here in the warm side of the greenhouse, and I would really, really like to have one over here in the cool side of the greenhouse. That would definitely be a really, really good present for me. And you can add actually to this whole system as many of these temperature sensors as you want. I only really need two, but if I had more, then it would be useful maybe to have them in different sides, different places of the greenhouse. So yeah, that's one for me. Another little tech gadget that would help to make my life probably a bit more difficult in terms of having to keep running into the greenhouse. See, the beauty of it is with this one, even if I'm on holiday, it will give me the alert, so I can then jump on the phone and say to my neighbour, hey Dave, will you nip next door and open the vents in my greenhouse and let's get those temperatures down. So that's my wish list present number 4. So number 5 is all about snipping, and number 6 will be as well. These are Draper snippers. I noticed there is a lot of product placement in this video. It's nothing to do with getting royalties from it. I am not a monetized channel at the moment anyway, so these are just happen to be the ones that I prefer, because out of all the ones I've tried, these work the best. Now they're not, I mean, they're very, very sharp. They're not absolutely perfect in as much as, and I don't know if I can show you this on my finger. See that little mark there on my finger? That was what happens if you get your finger caught in the snippers when you're snipping. But if you manage to do it properly and don't get your finger caught like that, then these are really handy snippers for deadheading all my different flowers and blooms when they go past their best. So every good gardener or greenhouse grower needs at least one pair of snippers. I've got 2 pair of these. I think they're only quite cheap. They're only about £10 I think, but I could do with another pair as well, because I'm always putting them down and not knowing where I've put them. So I could do with another pair of those. They're just as handy in the garden as they are in the greenhouse. So that's number 5, a pair of snippers. So for number 5, every good greenhouse grower needs plenty of ventilation and air movement in their greenhouse. So I would love to say another humidifier, however that's really specific to orchid growers and carnivorous plant growers like myself, but a really good fan is very handy. Now these things, we go through these very quickly, and mine looks like it's either been frozen in the Arctic or out of some kind of a horror film with all the bits and bobs hanging off it. So that would definitely be something that I would be happy to receive. Probably between 20 to 40 pounds perhaps, but I go through those very, very quickly. And if you are a really, really good daughter or son, then get one with metal blades. They're much better than the ones with plastic blades. So that's number 5. And for number 7, I think I'm getting my numbers all mixed up here, but a really decent pair of secateurs is always handy, and I don't know any gardener or greenhouse grower who doesn't want another pair of secateurs. These ones are all rusted. These ones were also pretty cheap, and if I'm honest, the only make I would really consider having, these are Wilkinsons, but I would only really like Felco ones. They're just, as far as I've ever seen, they are the best by far, and when I'm outside gardening, it's the Felco ones I turn to. So definitely another pair of secateurs. I'll be happy with any really, but Felco ones if I'm after the absolute best. And we're back over in the warm side for this one. So I think we're on number 8, but I could be wrong. I keep getting all the numbers mixed up. So if you're an orchid grower, then things like this, so these are consumables I'm going to talk about now. Things like bits of wire, thick gauge wire, labels, the transparent pots always come in handy, these gravel trays, horticultural grit. What else have we got that we need lots and lots of? The bags of multi-purpose compost, bark, all those kind of things are always useful. Watering cans even. Believe it or not, plastic watering cans, as you can see, do tend to degrade as time goes on, especially when they're in the sun. So something like that is always very welcome. Okay, I've absolutely no idea what number I'm up to now, but that's being a dad, isn't it? So we'll call it number 20. I don't know. Probably nowhere near that, but anyway, number 20. I would really like to make use of all this really precious rainwater that we've been having recently. I would like an extra water barrel. Again, they're not that expensive. I currently have 3, but I'd like another one because we just had in the UK like the driest spring on record, and I soon went through all that water. And considering it rained so much over winter, it seems such a shame to then have to get either RO water or distilled water or even tap water and have to pay extra for it. So if it's coming down for free, rainwater is always the best thing to have. So another water barrel so that I can daisy chain them along and make use of everything that falls onto my greenhouse roof. So that's number 35, whatever number. Gift idea number 726. So of course, plants plants would be the absolute perfect idea for a gardening dad or a greenhouse grower or a plant obsessive like me. So what would I like in terms of plants? Well, of course any plant would be nice. However, if we're going to be really perfect here, then it's quite easy to see the kind of plants I grow. I'm growing orchids, carnivorous plants, streptocarpus, ferns, pelargoniums, the list goes on. But one thing they do have all in common, for me anyway, is they're all tropical plants, hence the channel name, and they're all slightly unusual. I don't want something that is quite run-of-the-mill obvious. I think you find that with gardeners everywhere. Nobody wants a garden full of plants that everybody else has got, or that they grow on roadside verges or traffic islands. People want something a little bit different, and for me anyway, that tends to mean buying online. You don't really generally get things that are a little bit unusual in garden centres. Specialist nurseries maybe, but not necessarily garden centres. So plants, yes, lots of them, the more the better, and the more unusual the better. So that is a really, really good idea for your gardening dad. Idea number 7628, a plastic trug. I'll just show you one of my trugs. I have a trug down there for collecting rubbish. I have a trug under this blanket here for my watering, orchid watering, and if you want to know what the cover's for, to keep things out of it and also to stop it from getting algae in it. What else do I have? Another trug down there for rubbish. Trugs are always handy. So yes, if you would like to get your dad a trug, I'm sure, although it might raise an eyebrow, it would come in very, very useful. And for my final idea, so I could go on and on and on. There are all sorts of things that I would love for my growing space. However, this one is something that is perhaps specific to people who like to either photograph the plants. By the way, I'm on Instagram, look me up with a link in the description, and I like to photograph the plants. But I also, of course, I'm a YouTuber, so I like to film them as well. And I've been filming all mine on an old iPhone 7 Plus, hence we occasionally get the odd little film freeze. However, I would love a brand new iPhone. Wouldn't that be a great present for Father's Day? I know I'm not going to get it, but hell, this was a perfection wish list, and you know what, I'll be happy with whatever I get. And just the fact that my daughter will be there, and I'm sure all you dads are the same, if she's there and if she's happy to be with me, and really that's all that matters, isn't it? So if you've got any ideas that I've missed off and you want to stick them in the comments, whether you're a gardening dad or a gardening mum, Mother's Day will be coming round eventually, won't it? So stick them in the comments and let's all have a good wish about what we would like to get for Mother's Day or Father's Day, with keeping in mind, of course, the fact that we know we're all lucky to be here, and of course presents and gifts aren't the be all and end all in life. So long as I make that clear, this is just a little bit of fun, and for now I'll see you on the next one. Bye.